Alright, with all the things they've shown off for WWE 2K24, here are 10 things that I am most looking forward to trying out or seeing firsthand. Let's get into it. Alright, so now these are in a random order, and number one is the fireballs. That fireball thing looks awesome. I hope it has like a dummy one where it'll backfire, kind of like the Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior match. Like, they should have it set up to where it's like every so many tries, or the percentage is, let's say it's 5% chance. Well, no, that's too high. Like a 2% chance that it could blow up in your face. So when it happens, you're like, oh, what the hell? So that way it's just completely random and you forget that it can actually do it. So the whole fireball thing, it just sounds awesome. I love all the new gimmicks they're adding to it, like the spring of the mist and everything. It's just, I can't wait to play this game. All right, number two, weapon tossing. Now, the whole weapon tossing gimmick, I can't wait to try it out because it had me thinking, like, wait, let's say a scenario where you're outside the ring and they're inside the ring being pinned. Can you, in theory, take a weapon, throw it in over the top rope, assuming it lets you do that, and hit the opponents, breaking up the pin or hitting the ref and making him stop counting? Is that possible? Because if so, that's a huge game changer, and it's stuff like that that's going to innovate the game. That alone, it's a huge innovation because it adds so much more strategy to how you play a match, how you approach a match in this game. So, I mean, if you're in the ring, obviously, you could probably, if you're at one end of the ring and they're all the way at the other end and they're getting pinned, if you have a weapon next to you, you could probably do it that way. That's going to be one of the first things I try with the weapon throwing gimmick. The outside thing, though, if that works, that's going to be so fun for online matches, for multi-man matches. Like, crap, nobody's there. And then what about a ladder match? If they're at the top of the ladder trying to grab a belt and you have a chair or a kendo stick or something that goes far, I don't know how far it goes, can you throw it at them when they're on the top of the ladder and knock them off? Because that's a huge thing too. Like, that'd be funny. You get in the ring and they're up there and you don't have time to climb up. Can you grab a chair and, like, get off of there and throw it at them and knock them off the thing? That would be both very frustrating if you're the guy trying to get the belt, and hilariously fun if you're the guy down in the ring throwing the weapon. I mean, that changes everything. It changes how you approach literally every match that has no DQ. So I hope they do that. That'd be awesome. Number three. Now, you're probably surprised I'm going to be saying my faction, but they basically confirmed that the attires that they have in that mode will be unlockable in all modes. So your action figure John Cena, your action figure battle damaged Cody Rhodes, your Scott Steiner Big Papa Pump, assuming he's in it this year. I mean, they could really drag out this game this year with the My Faction if they add a bunch of tires in there. And what's to say they stop there? What if they add in new creation parts via card packs? What if they add championships or belt designs or anything they can add? New arenas, even if it gets that big. I mean, the sky's the limit. If they're gonna turn this into how we consume DLC, they're gonna change everything next year. So I'm very curious, and they're being very hush hush about this mode. I'm very curious how this mode is this year. So my faction made the list because I just want to see what the game plan is, because I feel like it's going to be very telling how they're going to approach DLC, however this mode operates this year. We'll find out. Number four. Now, if you've been a fan of the channel for a while, you know I'm a huge Ultimate Warrior fan. He got some awesome DLC, or TLC, Tender Love and Care, this year. He got a new character model. He got his WrestleMania 6 attire, my personal favorite attire. He got his Rick Rude attire. Not my favorite attire, but at least it's something different. We had that American attire, the red, white, and blue attire for, like, I want to say 3 or 4 games. So it's really cool seeing him get some love and new character model. And I'm curious if they changed any of his moves. Now, I know Ultimate Warrior has a set move set, but sometimes in these games they'll change, like, the moves, because Ultimate Warrior didn't do a lot of stuff in the ring. He was like John Cena. He had 4 moves and that was it. because his matches would end so fast. But I'm curious, like, what are the little moves in there? What else did they give him? We'll have to wait and see. Number 5. Now, number 5, camera angles. Camera angles change everything about this game. It makes it feel like a completely new game. Like, you know how in fighting games, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, whatever fighting game you can imagine that has, it's 2D, even if it's like Tekken where you can move around in 3 dimensions. The stages are almost as memorable as the character themselves, sometimes more memorable. Everybody has a favorite stage in these games. Like, my favorite stage in Street Fighter 2 was Blanca's stage. I always loved that stage because it just fit his character so well. And the thing about Street Fighter is the stages always fit the character, and it adds personality to it. So with being able to change the camera angle to where you can see the Titantron, it's going to kind of feel like a fighting game stage if you think about it. Like, you got Elimination Chamber, especially with the old entrance Titantrons, like the Big Fist Smackdown. That's going to be awesome. Just being able to see that during matches, it might be distracting at first, but it's such a great backdrop for matches. I think the reason why the hard cam doesn't do that in the real show is because they want the wrestlers to be the focus of wrestling. They don't want you looking at the Titantron. That's for the entrance. That's for how they get to the ring. But during the match, they want you to pay attention to the wrestlers, which makes sense because they're the moneymakers, right? But anyway, in the game, I feel like it's just so cool to have that backdrop. And I love the fact that they finally added the option to change the camera angle, because that is literally the first thing I'm going to do when I get this game. I'm going to set that camera angle to default. So, yeah, I can't wait to see how that looks. Number 6, create an entrance. Now, create an entrance last year, in 2K22, they took out custom entrances because they claimed, and I'm guessing this is true because it's kind of all over the place. They said that custom entrances make the game crash a lot more. It's one of the biggest issues they had with crashing was to create entrances, because it has to take this piece and this piece and this piece and try to load it together during your match. And then if you have a created wrestler, it makes it even more of a mess. So they took it out, and then they tried to put it back in 2K23, but you could tell it's not finished. And so I really hope that this year they had time to finish it, or at least get it to the point where you have all your base entrances, the default entrances, right, that are all pre-made, ready to go, can also be used as your title entrances. Now, maybe they fix this later on. I didn't really dabble in the entrances for the last 4 months, but back when I played it heavily, when it first came out, I made all my characters, all your title entrances were super limited. It was like, I think it was less than half of what the full entrance list was. So you couldn't use all the default entrances as just a title entrance. They had specific ones for title entrances, and that really sucked. So hopefully they fix that this year, because you should just be able to use all the default ones. I think that'd be cool. Number 7, special guest referee. Now, if you've been on the channel, you probably know that I used to be a wrestler over here in Oregon. I've did it for about 6 years, and in that time I also refereed quite a bit. In fact, I was a better ref than I was a wrestler. Probably could have made it as a ref in WWE or AEW, but that's a story for another time. But the fact that they went in, and they didn't just like half-ass it, they actually went in and they got all the ref gimmicks in there. The counting in the corner, the DQ at any moment. Like, I know it's supposed to be a special guest referee, but if you want, you could be down the line, try to do your best, special guest referee. And they even have a meter on the top, where if you're too bad of a ref, they'll probably beat you up or you'll get ejected or whatever. I'm trying not to look at every single detail this game has from other videos. I'm just getting like the gist of it, because I want that sense of discoverability when the game comes out. So if I misquote something, it's because I'm trying to wait until the game comes out, because I want to discover this as I'm playing, like these creators did when they're making their videos. So yeah, that's why I don't have every perfect little detail. I just have the base information. That's why. It's because I want to be shocked and surprised when I play it. That's part of the fun of video games, is that sense of discoverability. Usually when I look at a review for a game, I just go look at the score. If it gets like a 5 out of 10, won't play it. You know, it's a crap game. If it gets a pretty high score and it's a game I'm already interested in, then I'm like, I look at the base, like the base beats of what they mentioned. Like, okay, I'll go try it out. Like, for instance, sorry to go off on a tangent here, Final Fantasy VII came out. I've been playing that. I didn't watch any reviews or any build-up press release. I even missed that big, huge state of play for it because I was already sold on the game. It wasn't until I tried the demo where I actually saw any part of the game and I was sold. And I don't want any spoilers. I don't want nothing. So I just went into the game blind, and holy crap, I'm loving it so far. So I kind of want that feeling for 2K24, because even though I make content and I'm covering it a bunch, like with wrestlers and rosters and stuff, all those little details when you're playing the matches, I kind of wanted to discover for myself. So there's that. Number 8, Gauntlet Match. Now, I know there's a few different versions of Gauntlet Match. Same thing. I didn't go into all the little details, but it sounds like to me it's a survival mode, right? And one of my favorite things in fighting games to do is survival mode. You just play until you lose, right? Hopefully they have that in here where you can just play unlimited until you lose, because that'd be pretty fun. I think in the old wrestling games, I think the max was 30. And if you beat the 30th person, then you win. So I'm curious if it'll have a record system for how far you get, or how many times you've eliminated people in the gauntlet match. I think that'd be really fun. I can't wait to try it out. I think it's cool. Any new match type is cool. Casket, ambulance, even though they use the same mechanic as submissions, it still looks pretty fun to try out. But special guest referee and gauntlet matches are the two I'm most looking forward to. Now, modes. Now, every year, my favorite mode to play is Universe mode. And in 2K23, I built 32 wrestlers, about 16 men and women. And I got the show all set up and everything. And then things starting to mess up. Things started crashing. Things started not loading right. The matches didn't work right. The feuds, or rivalries, if you will, would only last for like one pay-per-view. Like 1 month, and then it would reset. I'm like, I don't know. I barely touched the mode because it just started messing up on me. They might have fixed it later on, but at that point I had already moved on to another game. So I'm really hoping that right out of the gate, Universe mode works. The fact that they added in all the new match types to it also is going to help a lot. Double title matches. I hope they get the Money in the Bank thing fixed, because last year it would just add a match. It was really wonky last year how Money in the Bank worked. So hopefully they got that worked out. But Universe mode will always be my favorite mode. I love taking all my wrestlers, my own arena, creating my own show, and just having fun with it. And now with the new camera options, it's going to be even more fun. So I can't wait to try out the new Universe mode. Now, number 10. If you've been watching this channel, you know I love making wrestlers. It's probably the thing I do the most in these games every year, more than anything else. I rank up pretty high numbers in hours played. 2K20 was over 260 hours. 2K22, I spent almost 400 hours in that game just making wrestlers, because it had been so long since the last game. I was having a blast with it. And then 2K23, I did cross the 200-hour mark, which I was shocked because I didn't play it as much, I didn't think. Most of that time was just making wrestlers, making arenas, just having fun, seeing my creations kick each other's butts. But yeah, I can't wait to try out. The number one thing I can't wait to try out is all the new creation parts, just to see how they look, what I can come up with. To me, that's the most fun I have with these games. It's just making wrestlers. I can't wait to see what Strizer looks like in this game, because sometimes I'll tweak it, sometimes I'll leave them the same. So I'm curious with the new parts, what I can come up with. What are some things you're most looking forward to in 2K24? Sound off in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and stay frosty.